I'm in the process of losing everything. My house, my car.
35 years old, living in my parents' basement with $40,000 in debt.
Imagine making $160,000 a year. That's what the average income in the United States would be if wages had kept up with the cost of housing.
The cost of living that we've been experiencing lately for these past few years has been absolutely insane, and we're going to talk about that. But real quick, I want to give a huge shout out. Thanks to Scribe for sponsoring today's video. More on them later.
35 years old, living in my parents' basement with $40,000 in debt. And I can't figure out how to fucking get anywhere in life. And I keep getting so triggered by all these people that are making millions of dollars, like in months or in years or however long, with their own entrepreneurial business that they created themselves. And I want that so bad for myself. I feel like a failure. And I don't just want to keep wishing for something to change. I want to make real change. I just don't know why I can't figure it out. Why does it seem so impossible for me? I'm getting sick. It's a week before my period. It's Christmas and I can't do anything right. I feel like I'm going nowhere in life.
That's a real feeling that a lot of people have right now, and I think the biggest problem with that is social media. Guys, I just did a speech the other day. I felt so privileged to be asked to speak at this event. It was a event for men to come together to talk about life, to talk about stuff people are struggling with. I mean, there's people there with drug addictions. There's people that were 2 years sober. I had the privilege of being able to speak on your personal finances, and this is something that I brought up in that speech. The comparison is the thief of joy. Guys, with social media, we see all these young kids living on these, private jets and buying Lambos and, like she mentioned, making millions of dollars every single month. We have to get that out of our head and focus on ourselves. We have to focus on our lives. We have to stop looking at other people's lives and looking at the highlight reel of their life. They're not showing the crap they're going through. They're not showing what they're really dealing with their finances. I mean, it's just, we have to get out of our heads. It's keeping up with the Joneses, but multiplied by 100, because we get to see and exposed to everyone in the world through social media. I mean, back in the day when when our parents and our parents' parents were keeping up with the Joneses, old, Dick and Cheryl bought a new boat down the street, and then it was like, did you see Cheryl and Dick's new boat? I was like, it's a little different now. Now we're seeing old Johnny, who's 16 years old, flying around in his private jet and his green Lambo. We got to get past that. We got to focus on our lives, keep our head down, and be happy for our wins, right? Find a good friend group and rely on your family and enjoy life. That's really all I can say.
I'm in the process of losing everything. My house, my car. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I lost my job at the end of September, and I haven't been able to find work. The little town that I live in doesn't have the best job market. I don't have medical experience. I don't have food experience. And that's the majority of the jobs. So I'm a couple months behind on my mortgage. It's in deferment right now. So I think I have 3 more months, and then that's that. And my car is probably 2 weeks away from getting repoed. I have no idea what to do.
That's tough to see, guys, and I think, unfortunately, we're going to see more of that in this country. I think times are getting a little tough, getting a little hard, especially with layoffs increasing like they are. That's, you hate to see that. Now, looking at the comments here, you can see someone mentions, sell the house and car, buy a van you can sleep in, have a new adventure. Actually, doesn't sound like a bad idea. I've lost everything twice already. I've recovered both times. You will too, buddy. Stay strong. I mean, that is something to think about. Like, there are tough times that people go through, like, this guy right here, and they said that they've been able to come back. So that is motivating. It is motivating to see that. But I still like that first comment. Sell everything and go live in a van down by the river until you, figure out your next career. That's what I would do, at least. All right, real talk, guys. If you've ever tried to explain a process to someone and realized halfway through that it's much harder to explain than to just actually do, you know the pain. Especially when you're trying to stay organized, efficient, and not waste times explaining the same things over and over. Luckily, today's sponsor, Scribe, is here to fix that. Scribe records your workflow in real time and automatically builds a step-by-step guide that anyone can follow. No extra effort required. For example, this is my budget tracker that I normally have linked down below in the description for sale if you want to start tracking your money. But today, thanks to Scribe, I'm actually giving this away for free. Using Scribe, I can go through the budget tracker like I'm a brand new user, and it automatically captures my screen to create a step-by-step guide showing exactly how to use it. So if you sign up today to receive the budget tracker for free, you'll also get the full walkthrough that shows you how to set everything up from start to finish. Now, some of the great features here that make up Scribe is number one is speed. This saves me hours of time, is way faster than manually taking screenshots, writing instructions, and building docs from scratch. You can customize everything, add branding, hide info in screenshots, add headings, even dropping GIFs. And sharing is also super easy. Link, export it as a PDF, embed it, send it to a team, whatever fits your workflow. And then also they even offer a guide me feature that shows users exactly where to click in real time, guiding them step by step through the workflow you've built. So take back your time and skip the busy work. Go to scribe.how/JJBuckner or click the link down below in the description to get started for free. You can also unlock even more powerful features with Pro.
Yo, if you were ever curious about the state of the economy, here's your reminder for today. This bottle of water and this pack of Swedish fish, I wouldn't have been able to buy with the $5 bill. I repeat, I would not have been able to buy this water and this pack of Swedish fish with a $5 bill. And for those of you who may be wondering or saying, that's not too bad. When I was 8, 9, maybe 10, I'm 29, I would be able to go into the store with a $5 bill and get a beef, bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich on a sub roll, 2 bags of chips, a pack of Swedish fish, and 2 sodas for $5. Y'all be safe though.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, I remember like going through a McDonald's when I was a kid and like how much $2 would get you. Now you can't even get anything off the value menu for more than $2 or for less than $2 at McDonald's. It's crazy. I mean, a hash brown costs $2.50. Wild times we're living in right now, people. Wild.
And in today's reality, there is no such thing as far as living above your means, because everything got this motherfucker is above our means. I don't care if it's food, clothes, water, health insurance, dental insurance, car insurance, homeowners insurance, real insurance, lashes, haircut, rent, mortgage. Bitch, everything out here is expensive. I don't care if you make $200,000 a year. You're going to spend $195,000 just to survive. And at this point, we all a check away from eating out the trash can. Just throw me back in the womb because I did not ask to be here. Bitch, I probably got to pay to go to heaven.
That was a fun one. I mean, not wrong.
Oh, you might think, I bet she's upset about something legit. No, I'm crying because my Starbucks this morning was almost $10, and I just can't afford it anymore. And that sucks.
$10 for Starbucks. You know what? And maybe it's just me, guys. Tell me down below in the comments if you agree with me or not, but I feel like Starbucks has kind of gone downhill. Don't you think? It's gotten too corporate. It's not the same feeling anymore when you walk in. I don't think it's the same flavor either. I mean, maybe it is. Maybe I just am getting spoiled with, local mom and pop coffee shops lately. But yeah, I mean, I go in there now, or like we'll stop at a Starbucks randomly if we're like traveling to see family or something like that. Just never tastes. Every time I sip on it, I'm like, yeah. I told my wife, I'm like, babe, this is not what it used to be. It's not. It's just kind of gone downhill. And then the drinks that cost $10, get out of here, Starbucks. Come on.
Imagine making $160,000 a year. That's what the average income in the United States would be if wages had kept up with the cost of housing. Check out this cost of living breakdown for 1959 I came across, where the cost of a new house was $12,400 and the average income at the time was $5,000. That's nearly half the cost of a new house. Today, the average cost of a new house is about $410,000, which is 33 times that of 1959. Has the United States average income gone up 33 times since 1959? No, it hasn't. It's only gone up by about 12 times, an average of $60,000. And look at the average cost of rent in 1959, $97. Divide that $5,000 yearly income by 12 to get the monthly income at the time, $416. So your rent is less than a quarter of your monthly income. That's insane. I don't know about you guys, but my rent takes up about 60% of my income. Over half of my damn check. We are being robbed of a decent life that generations before us got to enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say it right now. I've said it before and I'll say it again. This generation that we're living in, as far as millennials, even Gen Z has it worse. And I will say that it is a very, very tough time to get started in today's world. If you're coming out of high school or coming out of college right now, like the thought of even buying a home is so out of question because of the rapid increase in the cost of living. But when you pump trillions and trillions of dollars into the economy, this is the result you get. So thanks to our government that continues to print money on both sides, we need to stop. We got to figure out a way to turn the printer off and to manage our money better in the government, because Congress spends money like it grows on trees or freshly comes out of printers. It's got to stop. Yet we still get taxed left and right on every single thing we do in our life. And the government freely lets just, spend it regardless. Think about what our founding fathers would think about if they saw this now. This is men who got mad over a tax over tea. Now look at how much we're taxed as a country. It's wild. Absolutely wild. And not only are we taxed left and right up to our eyeballs, everything else has gone up in price as well dramatically. It's got to stop.
The federal poverty line for a family of four is $32,150. For an individual, it's $15,650. If that sounds crazy to you, that's because it is. I know people who are paying more than $32,000 a year just for childcare. A Wall Street portfolio manager recently went viral for saying that the new poverty line for a family of four should actually be $140,000. He's gotten a lot of pushback for saying that, but $32,000 is definitely way too low. Here's how he broke down the basic needs budget for a family of four where both parents have jobs and there are two children. $32,000 for childcare, $23,000 for housing, $15,000 for food, $15,000 for transportation, $11,000 for healthcare, and $22,000 for other essential things. The median household income in 2024 was $83,730, but a lot of families making $80,000 feel like they're barely scraping by. What amount of money would let you live comfortably?
That's why I love living in the Midwest. You have great quality of life, you have great people that live by you, and then also the cost of living is still not too crazy out of hand. I've lived on the East Coast, I've lived on the West Coast, west side of the United States, Arizona, and I've lived in the South, I've lived here in the Midwest, and I will say the Midwest is where it's at. I love it. I'm also biased. This is where I was born and raised. But we are also starting to see a lot of people move from the outer parts of the United States into the Midwest. I'm a mortgage broker, by the way. If you happen to need a pre-approval or looking to buy a house and you're looking in the state of Missouri or Arkansas, reach out to me. I'd love to help you on your mortgage process. But what I'm getting at is I'm starting to see a lot of people coming from the outer parts of the United States into our area of Missouri and Arkansas. And when I talk to them and I ask them why they're moving back, it's for jobs, industry, looking for lower cost of living and a better quality of life from where they lived previously. So it's happening, guys. The movement's happening. People are understanding that these high cost of living areas in the United States, that before this all happened, this rapid rise in cost of living, was already a high cost of living area. And now with the rapid increase of cost of living, now it's even an astronomically higher cost of living area. So people are literally being forced to move to other parts of the country where it's cheaper to live. Wild times we're living in. Thanks to Scribe for sponsoring today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. See you all in the next one.